Hello everyone, welcome back. This is csecnow, and I'll be going through this HSP, which is Human Social Biology Paper 1, June 2019. Alright, nonetheless, so guys, make sure you guys do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. And please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section if you have any questions, alright? Good. So number 1 says plant obtains nitrates, and plant obtains nitrates by absorbing nitrates through their roots. Alright, so we have seen that plants would obtain nitrates by obtaining nitrates through their roots. Alright, number 2, he says which of the following is an example of a terrestrial food chain? And when we're talking about food, I would say terrestrial food chain, we're talking about like plants, expanded plants going from I would say the primary producer. There we have seen where there would have been another way, which would have the plant, the grasshopper, and then we'd have the bird. Alright, so we have seen that the plant here would be the food for the grasshopper, then therefore we'd have seen that the grasshopper would be the food for the bird. Alright, so we are talking about the terrestrial food chain. So therefore the answer would be C here. Alright, number 3, it says in which of the following structure does photosynthesis occur? So we have seen that photosynthesis is occur through chloroplast, and the answer here for number 3 would be C. Alright, good. Number 4 here, it says item 4 refers to the following diagram. Alright, we have seen which is shown the red blood cell before and after it's been placed in a concentrated salt solution for 1 hour. Alright, so this was before 1 hour here, as you guys could see. So we have seen that the red blood cell, it was circular in shape. Therefore I see that the shape after 2 hours is now changed. Alright, so we'll see what does the question ask. Alright, so it says the change in the red blood cell shown in, I would say, item 2 occurs because, and we have seen here they're talking about item 2, so we have seen that therefore we have seen that I would say the osmosis. Alright, so we have seen that the leaves of the cell, I would say, by osmosis. Alright, so we are seeing that it was before we would have seen that it would have entered the cell by osmosis, but we are seeing that it would leave the cell by osmosis in after the 1 hour here. Alright, so the answer here would be B. Good. Alright, number 5 here, it says, alright, so this refers to the following aquatic food chain. Alright, so we have seen that we have the phytoplankton, and we have the zooplankton, and we have fish, we have water bird. Alright, so number 5 says the producer in the food chain is, and we are talking about the phytoplankton. Right, so the producer here would be the phytoplankton. So this would be the producer. Alright, so moving along to number 6, and it's pretty easy, guys. Alright, just all you guys need to do is just memorize the questions and the answers, as majority of these questions will be repeated. Alright, and it's very simple. Moving on to number 6, it says to which of the following food groups do oats belong? So we're talking about oats, guys, and we know that oats would resemble, or I say belong to, the group, and we're talking about staples. Alright, it's not vegetables, not fruits, it's not legumes, it's staples. Alright, good. So the answer here would be B for number 6. Alright, number 7 says which of the following statements is true about pepsin? Alright, and we were talking about Pepsi, we were talking about like the conversion between protein to amino acid. So therefore we'd have seen that the option here is true about pepsin. We'd have seen that it would be the converts protein to amino acid. So we have seen that pepsin would be in the I would say the reaction between conversion between, I say, protein to amino acid. So therefore the answer for number 7 would be B. Alright, number 8, it says which of the following vitamins can be produced by the skin as well as obtained from food? So we all know that we can obtain vitamin D from the skin, and also we can obtain vitamin D from food as well. So therefore the answer would be D, vitamin D, for number 8. Alright, Good. Number 9 here, it says refers to the following pie chart. So we have a pie chart showing the proportional of food groups in a balance. So we had carbohydrate, we have fruits and vegetables, we have protein, and we have fats. Alright. So here we are showing the different type of key. So where we have the horizontal line going across, therefore we'd have known that we have seen some, I would say, carbohydrate, fruits, vegetables, protein, and so forth. Alright. So it says a person diagnosed with diabetes mellitus should. Alright, so we are talking about diabetes mellitus. We're talking, normally we'd heard that person's been referring to person who, I would say, diabetic. Therefore, they would say it's a person who had sugar. So if a person who had sugar, the right name for sugar here would be diabetes mellitus. Alright, so we'd have seen they would have to decrease their intake of carbohydrate, because too much carbohydrate would build the amount of, I would say, sugar in your body. Alright, so therefore we'd have knowing that too much carbohydrate would form into sugar. Alright, once we form into too much sugar, such as, for example, too many wheat. I would not say wheat, but like too many, you say starch, in the sense, too much flour, right? So cut down on the carbohydrate intake, therefore, and then we could see where a person's here, could their diabetes mellitus should go back to normal. So they would have to decrease the carbohydrate intake. All right, good. Moving along to number 10, it says which of the following teeth aid in grinding food into smaller pieces. So we all know that in your mouth, therefore, during the tooth structure, therefore we know that the molar and the premolar would have to do within grinding the food, therefore grinding into smaller pieces. So it's a molar and the premolar. So the answer for number 10 here would be B. Number 11. So we're talking about kwashiorkor, right? So kwashiorkor, we are talking about kwashiorkor is I would say is a deficiency disease that caused by, I would say, lack. So when you're talking about kwashiorkor, we are talking about protein. Persons who are lack of protein, therefore you see having some different types of disease deficiency. All right. So the answer here for number 11 would be B, protein. Good. So in the person kwashiorkor, we are talking about protein. Alright, so number 12. You said which of the following presents the correct, I would say, sequence of events in formation of dental cavity. So therefore we are talking about this formation. So first thing first, guys, we'd have to see where we'd have the plaque formation. So once we have seen the plaque formation, we'd have to see where it follow along with also the enamel decay. So we are talking about, so we normally see a plaque on the tooth, right? So it's like a yellow, like it is like a yellow cluster where you're seeing it's forming on the tooth. They would have seen where after the yellow plaque, now we're talking about the plaque formation, they would have normally see where we'd have the enamel decay. So once the enamel start to decay, then therefore we'd have seen that the dentine would have to decay. And once we have the dentine would be inner part of your tooth, therefore. And once the inner part of your tooth, which is the dentine, become decayed, then therefore we would have in I would say a tooth obsession, which would be called abscess. Alright, so it's just a formation. So therefore we'd have the plaque first. So we have plaque, we have the enamel decay, we have the dentine decay, and then we have the abscess. Sorry. So the answer here for number 12 would be D. Alright, so we're just gonna move along real fast. Good. Alright, so here number 13 says we are seeing that the following diagram here shows a part of a human digestive tract. Alright, so just a few questions. Number 13 says which organ is responsible for digestion of protein only. Alright, so we are talking about protein. So therefore we have seen that the stomach here. Alright, so C refers to the stomach. Alright, so it says 14 says the process of egestion is defined as a removal of, and we're talking about egestion, guys. We're not talking about digestion. So egestion would be the removal, I would say, of undigested waste. So it removes the undigested waste into another, and I would say into another tract inside of your body. All right, so that would be the undigested waste. So the answer for number 14 here would be D. Alright, good. Alright, number 15 here, it says refers to the following table. So it says we show the following, I would say, structure of the respiratory system. Alright, so here we have the functions. We have seen that filter, warm and moisten. Here we have prevent food from entering the trachea. We had to, provide here passage to each lung. Therefore, we had to also produce sound with voice box, otherwise known as the vocal cord. Alright, so the structure labeled I234R, so we are talking about here. So we have seen that for the nostril passage, alright, would be I. So we are talking about the nostril passage would be very filtered. Alright, so the nostril, I would say the nostril passage is filtered and warm and moisture in here. Alright, sorry. So we'd have seen that the epiglottis. So when you're talking about the epiglottis, guys, we are seeing that the epiglottis would be, preventing food from entering the trachea. Alright, good. And we are talking about the bronchus. Alright, so the bronchus now would be where it provided, or it says provides here passage, to each lungs of our body. And when you're talking about the larynx now, we are talking that the larynx now produces, sounds with, I would say, voice box, otherwise known as our vocal cord. Good. Alright, number 16. So it says which of the following reagent is used to test for glucose? So you're seeing that these we're talking about the Bendick solution. So the Bendick solution now would be used to test for glucose. And number 17. It says to deliver mouth-to-mouth, I'm talking about the resuscitation. So the resuscitation, we're talking about the following steps that should be taken. So when we are going ahead to, I would say deliver mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, we are talking about the correct order how they should be taken. So therefore, we're seeing that we'd have to place the casualty on back. So we're placing the persons on their back. Therefore, we'd have seen that we'd have to press the head back with one hand, push the jaw upward with the other. Therefore, what we'd have to do, we'd have to pinch the nose and seal your mouth with the casualty mouth perhaps. And therefore, what we'd have to do after is to give 4 quick blows, alright, into the casualty's mouth and repeat, every 5 seconds. So the best answer here, guys, would be D. Alright. Good. So number 18 here. So which of the following is not a characteristics of gaseous exchange surface? Alright. So therefore the answer here for number 18 would be C, small surface here. So we're talking about not. Alright. So we're asking that the characteristics would be not of a gaseous exchange surface would be small surface here. So the answer would be C for number 18. For number 19 here. So which of the following substance found in a cigarette smoke is addictive? So we're talking about nicotine. So nicotine is very addicted in smoking, smoking addictive. So that substance is very found in smoking. Right? We're at item 20. So we're talking about number 20. So you have seen a diagram here showing a cell. So this is a diagram most likely to represent, and we are seeing that it normally represents the physoc. So it's a phagosate, alright? So we are seeing that the phagosate, so we're talking about the phagosate, it would be the diagram that refer here. The phagocyte, alright? So it's the diagram here that's referring to the cell, guys, would be the phagocyte, right? Good. Number 21 is to refer to the following incomplete table, which shows the blood vessel and organs. I would say they supplied. So we're talking about the blood vessels, we're talking about the organ supplies. So item 21 now says which of the following correctly labeled 1, 2, and 3. So we're just going to find the normal here that one would be the best, would support the table. So we're talking about the pulmonary, the pulmonary, I would say the pulmonary artery. So the pulmonary artery, therefore we have seen that it would be the blood vessel. Alright, so we are talking about the hepatic artery. Alright, so we have seen that the pulmonary artery would be, it would be the correspondingly through the hepatic artery. Therefore we are talking about the liver. So for the liver here would be 2, would be, I would say organized or organ supplied with the lung. Alright, we are seeing that 3, we're talking about the mesenteric artery. So the mesenteric artery now would along a line with the renal artery. Therefore we are talking about the liver. So the liver would align, or I would say organ supplied with the intestine. Alright, so the best answer here would be, sorry, not the liver. Alright, so we are seeing that the kidney, alright, the kidney, sorry, not the liver. So the kidney will align with the intestine. Alright, so the best answer here would be C. So we have the pulmonary artery, we have the liver, we have the mesenteric artery, and then we have the kidney. So the best answer here would be C for number 21. Number 22. So which of the following best describes the function of a, I would say, pacemaker in the heart? So what we are talking about in the heart here, the pacemaker, we are talking about the best. So therefore we'd have known that it's a pacemaker. Alright, so we're talking about the pacemaker. The pacemaker in the heart would normally, regulate the heart rate. So the best answer here would be C. Alright, number 23. So high blood pressure most likely to lead to. So you're seeing that high blood pressure would normally like to lead to what we are talking about, the cardiac, problems. So we're talking about like heart problems. Alright, good. Number 24. It says high blood pressure is highest in, or you're seeing that high blood pressure would be the highest in artery. Alright, good. Number 25, yeah. So which of the following diagram represent the pelvic girdle? So we're talking about the pelvic girdle, guys. We just look at these bones, I would say, perhaps, and see which best describe the part, I would say, the girdle. So the pelvic girdle here would be B. So this is the answer here, guys. Alright, good. So number 26, it says the function of the marrow in the long bone is to, and we all know that a marrow in the long bone, guys, is also make, I would say, the red blood cell. Alright, so we are talking about the marrow in the bone, that it would be aligned, to making enough red blood cell. Therefore, if you don't have enough, therefore then we know that we could have, would say, less amount of blood in our body. Alright, number 27. So we are seeing muscle groups, that oppose each other to produce movement are described as, we are talking about the antagonistic. Alright, so the answer here for number 27 would be C. Alright, number 28. So we have a diagram here showing, a kidney tubule. Alright, so we're just gonna see what they ask here. So it says in item 28 to 29, it says which labeled parts collect the filtrate from the glomerulus. Alright, so we are talking about the filter from the glomerulus. So we are seeing that it would be B. So this would be the filtrate. We are talking about the glomerulus. So you would collect the filtrate, sorry guys, from the glomerulus. Sorry. So the answer here would be B for number 28. It said which of the labeled part bring the blood to the glomerulus. So we're talking about which one bring. So one collect and one bring. So we have seen that here would bring. Alright, so we are talking about the hey. So this one would bring and this one would collect. Alright. So the answer here for number 29 would be A. Alright, so it says number 30. Alright, good. So it says which of the following joints allow movements in all direction? So we are talking about our joints in our body. Alright, our knee cannot, bend backward. Our ankle neither can bend backward. Our elbow, we can not neither, in many directions as we want our elbow to go. Alright, not all we want, because we could not reflex our elbow way backward, in the sense that we could, because our elbow would get broken. But our shoulder can go in any, I would say, any direction we want. See, good. So the best answer here for number 30 would be the shoulder. Good. Number 31, it says a part of the skin which act as an insulating layer, holding heat in the body. Here's the we are talking about the subcutaneous fat. So the subcutaneous, so we are talking about the subcutaneous fat. Here would be the insulating layer. All right, good. So number 32, it says which of the following is an involuntary action. So what we are talking about between the involuntary and we are talking about voluntary. So voluntary is what we can control. Involuntary is what we cannot control. So we cannot control our breathing. Alright, our breathing is normal. We doesn't give time when we wanted to breathe. We just breathe normally. Alright, we can stop our breath, but we cannot control the way how we breathe. Alright, so the best answer here for number 32 would be C. Number 33 is which of the following actions occur bring about accommodation in the eye. So we're talking about the tightening of the suspensory ligaments through relaxation of the ciliary muscles. Alright, so for number 33 here we're talking about A. Best answer here would be A. Number 34. It said which of the following hormones is responsible for causing the liver to convert excess sugar to glycogen. So we are talking about insulin. So we are seeing that insulin would be the responsible role here, to causing the liver to convert it to excessive sugar to glycogen. So the answer here for number 34 would be A. Good. Number 35, it says which of the following statement is not true about the endocrine and nervous system. So we all know the best keyword here is not. So we all know that they both have specialized I would say cells for transmitting and receiving information. We all know that, but they both have the same response time for transmitting and receiving information. No, they don't have the same time for response and transmitting and receiving information. So I would say the best suitable answer here for number 35 would be D. It's not true. Alright, they don't have the same time. Number 36 is which of the following hormones plays a major role in the growth of humans. We are talking about the thyroxine. Alright, so we'd have seen that the thyroxine would be where it plays a major role in the growth of humans. So the thyroxine will help in the growth of humans. So it helps in the process of growth. Alright, number 37. Alright, so we have a diagram here showing the view of the male reproductive system. Alright, so we have 1 to 4. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and label the identified structure from 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, and see what best goes on. So we're there to talk about. So based on the diagram here, we're just gonna go along and outline what's the first step for number 1. So for number 1 now, we're talking about the sperm duct. Alright, so far we can know that we see this is two testes. Alright, so we're talking about testes, otherwise known as testicles. Alright, so here, so we'd have seen that we had for number 1 here we have the sperm duct. So this card here refers as a sperm duct. You see it connected to the testicles, right? So this is a sperm duct here. So we'd have seen that C refers to the sperm duct. Good. And urethra. So the urethra now would be 2. So let me show you the urethra. So the urethra here is in the vessels, I would say the main main vessels of the penis. Alright, good. So the urethra here connected back, going straight back to the sperm duct. Alright, so it's just like a channel, guys. Alright, so we are seeing that the urethra here had connected back, going straight back to the the sperm duct. Alright, so this card here, and then we have now the prostate gland. So for number 3, we're talking about this gland here. So this would be the prostate gland. Alright, then we have the seminal vesicle. So the seminal vesicle now would be here. Let me just go ahead and show you. So this thing right here is a seminal vesicle. Alright, so the best answer here for number 37 would be C. So we have the sperm duct, we have the urethra, we have the prostate gland, and we have the seminal testicle. Alright, good. So number 38 now is which of the following is correct sequence of activities that occurs when a person pick up a plate. Alright, so when a person pick up a plate, this is what happened first. So we all know that the receptor, detect the plate and impulse that sent back to the brain that make a decision. So let me explain to you what happened. So the receptor in our body, guys, there's a detector in our body that called the receptor. So the receptor now is when we know if something is dangerous or not. So if we picked up like a hot plate, therefore we feel the heat, we may drop it. So the receptor now send the signal, I would say, back to the impulse, send it back to the brain, and therefore we know that we need to drop it. Alright, then we are talking about now, we have seen that the impulse now are sent down, to the white matter of the brain through the spinal cord to the arm. So it's like the impulse were sent it back down, through our spinal cord, through our arm. So that's where we know that we should, have the reflex. Alright, therefore we'd have seen that we'd have to go ahead and we have the effector. So the effector now contracts and relaxes to pick up the plate. So we're talking about the effector. So we know that we need to pick up the plate. So the effector now would now contract. And when the effector now contract, then you either could be relaxed to pick up the plate, alright? And then we are talking about the other one now would be the touch receptor. So the touch receptor now is basically a line in the skin and our eyes. So it's basically keep the brain informed to coordinate the action. So you could either know either to drop it or should pick it up. Alright, so the best answer for number 38 would be B. Alright, good. Number 39, we're talking about sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction is defined as, and we are seeing that sexual reproduction will be defined as fusion in gametes. Alright, good. Number 40 is which of the following methods contraception functions, I would say, preventing the sperm from entering the uterus. So we are talking about uterus, therefore we are talking about contraception. So if you see that there would be a contraception function of preventing the sperm from entering the uterus, you'd have seen that this one would be a barrier, not natural. Because let me just this is not the answer. We're talking about the method of contraception function preventing the sperm. There's no way natural could prevent the sperm from entering the urethra. So the best answer here would be barrier. Alright, so the answer is A. Write it clear. So you guys see, if you guys have any other answer, please feel free to let me know in the comment section. Alright, so number 41, we're talking about ovulation. So we are seeing that ovulation is a process by which is a mature egg is being released into the oviduct. Alright, so the best answer here for number 41 be D. Alright, number 42. So we have the item here showing, I would say, a diagram. So we're seeing that it's showing like a DNA and two diploid cells. Alright, so we're seeing that number 42 will be the process illustrated. So we're talking about the mitosis. Alright, so the mitosis, we are talking about the mitosis. So this process would best illustrate as mitosis. Sorry. Very good. Number 43, we're talking about chromosomes are made up of protein, and so it's made up of protein and DNA. Alright, good. So number 44 is which of the following shows correct examples of genetic and environment variation. So we're talking about tongue rolling. So tongue rolling would be the genetic variation, and we are seeing that height now would be environmental variation. So the best answer for number 44 here would be B. Good. Number 45. So we are seeing that the refers to the following genetic cross, which shows the inheritance of blood groups in humans. Alleles A and B are coordinate to each other and are both dominant to O. So what we are seeing here, guys, is most likely showing some blood groups. Alright, so far, because we are seeing that A, B, and O. Right, so you're talking about the gametes, we're talking fertilization, you have the genotype, you have the parental genotype. So we have AO, blood O, AO, BO, but it's way different in the sense. So we are talking about number 45 says which of the following offsprings inherit the homozygous recessive allele. So we are talking about the recessive allele, therefore we are talking about the N. So we are talking about here. Alright, so that it is a homozygous. Alright, so the homozygous is way different than I would say the offspring inheritance. Alright, good. So number 46, it says sigma has the following signs. So we're talking about the symptoms would be constriction of our bronchial tubes. So we are seeing there have coughing. So the symptoms here would be coughing, wheezing, and she's most likely suffering from. So once she's coughing and wheezing, we have known that that would supposed to be an asthma. So the best answer for number 46 would be A, asthma. Good. Number 47, it says hypotension does not occur as a result of. So we're talking about hypotension. Hypotension doesn't occur as anemia. Let me explain to you guys. This answer here is pretty giveaway because we know that obesity is not occurred by hypotension. Neither the arthritis, neither the high cholesterol level. Alright, so we know that the best answer here would be anemia. So it's not none of these, but the area we're talking about not, No. Good. Here, so we are talking about item 48 to 49 refers to the following terms. Good. So we're just going to choose the best terms, which I would say acceptable for these answers. So number 48. So we are seeing that protein is being produced by blood plasma, and it derived from B lymphocyte. Alright, so the lymphocyte we are talking about, we are seeing that lymphocyte would be where it be derived from the antibody. Alright, we are seeing that 49 would be the substance released by the body to neutralize harmful chemical produced by microorganisms. So therefore we are talking also about the antibody as well. Alright, so these two would be A and A. Alright, but let me just go ahead and look, because these are a little bit tricky. Alright, because let me just explain something for you guys. We have the antibiotic and we have the antibody, and we are talking about substance released the body to neutralize chemical produced by microorganisms. Alright, I think this answer here, guys, it should not be A2. Let me just cross up. This should supposed to be B. So the best answer for this one is B, guys. I don't know why it's A though, because we're talking about substance released by the body to neutralize antibody. Hold up. So it's protein produced by the plasma cell. But these are a little bit tricky though. It's a little bit between, because listen, antibiotics doesn't it's not a chemical that I would say or substance that is being reduced, I would say released by the body to neutralize harmful chemical produced by microorganisms. That would be A, antibodies. So the answer here is a little bit sticky. So guys, this one is a giveaway. You guys can either choose between A and B, but A was the answer here for this one. But if you guys have any other answer, let me know in the comment section. Alright, but I will go with, it's a little bit tricky because I'd have to choose A 2 times. Alright, but we go with these, but it's a little bit giveaway. Alright, good. Moving on to 50. So which of the following diseases cause severe diarrhea and abdominal pain. So we're talking about this one is talking about diarrhea and abdominal pain. But this is a little bit tricky. Gonorrhea. No, there's no way. Tuberculosis. No. Ringworm. So that one would be typhoid. Alright, so the best answer for number 50 would be typhoid. Hey, alright, good. Number 51. We're seeing that we have like a mosquito cycle here. We have the stages and I would say the cycle. So we have the stage cycle. Alright, normally we know that we have the larva, we have the, all of these ones. So we have the larva, we have the eggs. This would be the eggs. Alright, good. So, if we just look at this, what they are asking. 51 social following stages are found on water. Alright, so what we're talking about on water. So we'd have seen that we have found 2 on water. So we'd have seen egg. So egg could be found on the water, or we could see R on water. So therefore we could see we could also found 3. We talking about, this is a little bit cycled. Alright, and then we'd have the 4. So we mostly know that we'd have lava. So this would be the lava here. So this is a cycle. So we have the egg, the lava, and I forgot this name for this one. Alright, but the best answer here would be D. Good. So number 52 says, what type of immunity is, I would say, acquired from the antibodies that are produced when a vaccine is administered? And we all know that this would be the artificial active. Alright, so the best answer for number 52 here would be A. Good. Moving on. Number 53, he says we're talking about beriberi. So we all know that beriberi is a disease, an example of a disease that is we classify as, and it's a normally disease that would be, it's nothing about sexual transmitted, not pathogenic, and it's not about the hereditary otherwise, but we know that would be some form of nutritional deficiency. Alright, so the best answer for number 53 here would be D. And I'm so sorry guys, I'm a little bit under the weather, not really feeling so well. Try my best to have this video out so you guys could have these before your exams. Try my best. Alright, good. Number 54. So which of the following gases is produced in landfill sites? So we're talking about landfill. So therefore we know that methane would be gases that in the landfill site. Alright, so number 55. Here it says, what is the effect of carbon monoxide on the human body? So we all know that carbon monoxide is a little bit, I would say, not really bad, but in a sense what would be the effect. We all know that it could also prevent oxygen uptake by the blood, but it can be harmful in a sense, because it will be combining with the blood, alright, and it's not good. Carbon monoxide is not good, and it could prevent I would say blood clotting in the blood, causing further reaction, and it could cause even lead up to death. Alright, so it's not good. Alright, good. Number 56. It says chlorine, bleach can be added to drinking water too. So we all know that it's in any contaminated water. Therefore, once we had chlorine to the water, it would destroy the harmful microorganisms. Alright, so the best answer here for number 56 would be C, destroy more microorganisms. Number 57, so which of the following substance contribute to the excessive growth of algae? So are you talking about algae in the waterway? So therefore we know that algae could be nitrates and phosphates. Alright, so the best answer here for number 57 would be B, nitrates and phosphates. Good. Alright, number 58. So we're talking about which of the following are effects of releasing untreated sewage into river and lake. So we're talking about which of these would affect the untreated sewage in our water and lake. Right, so therefore we have seen that increase will be more increase in bacteria, it will be decrease in the oxygen, and we'd have death of fishes. So all of these applied. Alright, good. Number 59, we're almost through. So which of the following I would say is an example of a non-biodegradable pollutant? So we're talking about non-biodegradable. Right, so if we were talking about biodegradable, we could say wood, not paper, not cotton, sorry, but therefore it has seen number 59 now. We are talking about none. So they didn't say biodegradable. We are talking about none, and we know that lead is not, biodegradable. So therefore it will be an example of a non-biodegradable. All right, good. So we're almost through. We at number 60 so far. So here we are talking about contamination of water sources, and it is detrimental. Alright, so we are talking about water sources detrimental. We are talking about it's very serious. Therefore, we'd have seen that detrimental to human, because they are talking about the spread of the waterborne diseases. So we know that once the water is not clean, therefore it will be the contamination of the water. Then it could lead to cholera. We're not talking about cholera. Cholera is a disease that is been spread of where we have water contamination, and that could be very harmful to human body. Therefore it's not good. So what I would advise you guys to do when you're getting your water, ensure if you're catching your water, try to purify your water. Try to boil it and use I would say bleach, but it's not too much bleach like to kill the harmful the bacteria and all of those microorganisms. All right, so guys, this is the end of as I mentioned, this was a 2019 HSB as paper 1, and I wanted to say to you guys, thank you guys for watching, and it's a blessing, guys, to go through this paper with you so you guys could see what's going on. All right, I'm a little bit under the weather, but I want to say, guys, thank everyone for tuning in, and if you make it to the end of the video, please type kudos in the comment section, and I see you in another video. All right, so keep safe and take good care of yourself, and thank you for making it with CSEC. No. All right, kudos.